Okay, so I've decided to start putting my book together first of all by covering everything with a little bit of glimmer mist. So what I am going to do is I've just grabbed a couple that I think are going to look pretty well when I mix them, and I am just going to start spraying them and mixing different colors because I want a really kind of grungy look, and I'm going to use some different Tim Holtz stamps and maybe some different embellishments, just to kind of grunge it up and try to really focus on the cover more than the inside. But I do want to add a little something to the inside, so I'm going to mist them all the pages and stamp just a couple of images so that I still have room to write or glue copies of ideas or make sketches and things in my book, but still give it just a little bit of oomph. So basically what I'm doing right now is kind of twirling glimmer mist. You don't ever want to shake glimmer mist because it'll get in the spray and it gets air bubbles in it, and you don't want air bubbles. So I'm just kind of twirling it. You can rotate it around in circles, whatever works best for you, so that you get the glitter to come out of the bottom. You really want to get that glitter up inside all of your glimmer mist. Now this one here is called Graphite. So this one, of course, is going to be much heavier. And I usually like to start before I spray on my project and get it kind of primed. And then, oh yeah, and then just kind of mist in there. I can always go back and add more. And I'm going to add different colors. I want some green and some blue. So this is Olive Vine. Beautiful kind of grungy green color, which is what I'm looking for. I don't want anything too bright right now. I want to keep this kind of distressed and a little bit more artsy. See, isn't that a pretty color? And then I'm going to go back and I'm also going to ink the edges with some Tim Holtz Distress inks because I want the edges to be a little bit darker. You could also spray your glimmer mists on a splat mat of some sorts, either Ranger or the Tattered Angels or silicone mat, and then the residue here, run your edges of your paper into your residue and they'll soak up all that. But I want it to be a little bit darker and more distressed looking, so I'm going to use, now this one here is Midnight Blue. So I've got some green, you can see the black specks. I may even come back and add more black later. And the higher you hold it up, the softer your look is going to be. So what else did I get here? I got a Vanilla Breeze. This one I use quite often, just a real nice little vanilla color. So you get the idea, and just keep misting and keep adding whatever colors that you want. See, I think I want a little bit more green in that area there. So I really like that green. And then maybe I'll add a little bit more black on it again because I like that black speckled look. So you can get closer and get the black spots. Now if you didn't want the bigger spots, then press it with a paper towel and that'll get rid of the spots. And I may do that on the paper. And I may come back and add some more to this. I may even come back and add, no, actually I may do that now, just a little bit of a reddish kind of color. So let's add Tattered Rose. Let's see how well that shows up on the cardboard. You just don't want to shake it, and I'm kind of getting real close to shaking this because I feel like I'm pressed for time here, and I'll probably edit some of this out. So it's not going to show up a lot, so let's try something a little bit darker. Let's try Cherry Blossom. I've got a Cranberry Zing too, but I don't know if I want it that dark red. I wanted to stick more with the blue and green, but just a little bit of something here. See what we get here. Now, you know, when you start adding your inks to it, it'll change it even more. Oh yeah, see, you can, there we go. That's what we needed. Now, I don't know if you can see that, and I'm going to let it dry. You could also heat set it with your gun, but I have a couple pages here that I'm going to do. And I also wanted to do the back, but I can do that later. So, just to give you an idea. So now we'll just take some of our plain paper and the same look. This you'll be able to see a lot better. See, I want the splotchy look, but I don't want it all over to distract from giving me somewhere to write. So let's see if I can hold this up just a little bit higher, get some green. Add this little bit of the vanilla. And this, the Tattered Rose, should show even better on. So let's see how the see, now you got this beautiful shimmery piece of paper, and I can still stamp an image and still draw on it. So I'm going to do this front and back on all my pages and kind of mix up my colors a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll distress the edges. Okay, so I took each one of my pages, and then I'm using old paper because I want it to look really old and vintage. So I'm using the Distress Old Paper ink, and I am just using my Teflon coated mat. This one here, by the way, is a silicone mat that I got from Dollar General, and it's called an Oven Guard. Thank you so much to Jeannie at Typical Scrapper, because she's the one that gave me this idea. I saw it on her blog and went, and sure enough, and paid $1.50 for it. So it's just like the ones from Ranger, except it's just a tiny bit thinner, but for $1.50 it's absolutely perfect. So anyhow, just start on your mat and then just kind of come in here, and I just want these soft edges, and when it's distressed, see, it kind of folds over the paper a little bit, so I'm really rubbing kind of backwards and into it just to kind of blend it a little bit, and just really just trying to get the edges and just blend out towards the, or blend in towards the inside of the paper, because I want it to be real soft edge. I don't want it to be really hard and inked edge. I really prefer the softer edge instead of running the ink across my paper for most looks. Sometimes I want the stronger look, but I love this because you can just go back and it's blending in with all of the glimmer mist that I put on here, but it's not taking away any of the shimmer. It's still going in there. So make sure that you get both pages. I'd kind of done this a little bit before I videoed it because I went through all the pages. I wanted to show you what I've got so far. So anyway, that's about it. So that's what I did there. So let me show you what I have together so far, and then I'm going to decorate the front cover. So this is my front cover, and I just spritzed it. I rubbed a little ink on it, rubbed a little paint on it. I just really wanted this to be this shabby kind of altered grungy look. I found this piece of paper that had this really pretty design on it, so I cut it out, and then I put some rock candy stickles on the bird and just rubbed it in, put it a little bit thicker on the wings because I wanted them to stand out. I wanted it just a little bit. I didn't want it real puffy or stickly, and then dried it, so that just gave that little shimmer. I hope you can see that. And now I'm going to add some more stuff to this in just a moment, so I'll show you when I'm all done what it looks like. Here's the back. I just had a little piece of paper, and you see that shimmer? I hope you guys can see that because it doesn't photograph as well as it really does in person.